Yeah,
Listen,
she wants you to talk her out of it.
Tell you what, I can't show up with 9.
Yeah.
But I can show up with a good 5.
Yeah.
And some really good intentions.
It's a good attitude.
And a good attitude. Right? You and your husband,
Yeah.
who I didn't know existed,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a good story out of it,
sure.
right? And I'll talk about it in the podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to Divorce with Friends, the podcast that reminds you to shut off that oven feature on your toaster before you burn your hand. I am Bobby Vito, and joined as always is my friend, my colleague, my partner in his wonderful Divorce with Friends sweatshirt, Tom.
Right. Hello.
How are you?
You have a great jacket too. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to it. It's the fall of jackets. It is the autumn of jackets has arrived.
Divorce with Friends doesn't go that route. You know what I mean?
No. We'll get into that though. Okay. So Tom, what's been going on, dude?
Not too much. I have a couple life updates to my life updates.
Let's do it.
If you want to hear those. So one, we took down big creatine. I don't know if you saw this. I sent you the link.
I did hear it.
There's a creatine gummy company that's getting sued.
Yep.
Because they advertise that they have 5 milligrams of creatine, and it turns out they tested it. There's no fucking creatine.
Was that yours? Was that the one that you were using?
No, it was a different one. But that's my point. So these people are these poor fat people like me who are just trying to do better every day. They're waking up and they're like, all right, I'm going to try to get a little better today. I'm going to take some creatine. And they're feeding them candy. They're feeding them literal fucking candy to the fat people who are trying to get healthy.
So it is basically just gummy bears.
Candy. It's just candy.
That's crazy.
It's insane. There's no creatine.
Have you abandoned the gummies?
Yeah, I'm out with the gummies. I do the powder now. So I do the powder.
Okay.
I put it in in some water. I take some liquid IV in there, and that's how
I do like the liquid IV.
Yeah,
that works.
Electrolytes.
It's basically like
I'm on all the fats.
It's basically concentrated Gatorade.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. So now that then the liquid IV has more sugar than the whatever else. So I don't know. So that's one.
We broke that story.
So we took down big creatine.
Yeah, it's done
for us.
Fuck them.
Negative for me.
Negative.
So we talked last week. I started playing pickleball.
Yeah.
I have some bad news.
What happened?
I sprained my ankle playing pickleball.
You did.
I swear to God. In the intro to pickleball class. So I'm in the intro to pickleball class.
Yeah.
And it's the second to last class. And I'm kind of feeling myself. The instructor comes over and he goes, hey, listen. You're good enough to go to the intermediate class.
That's how they sell you.
And he pulls me aside.
Does that cost more? Does it cost more to join that class? Okay.
Well, it's the same amount, but it's like another you pay again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, hey, listen, these other assholes, they couldn't play at the intermediate level, but you're a real athlete. So I'm feeling pretty good. And then actually some of the other, like the stronger players, the sort of younger people were like, hey, we should get together. And they included me in it, and play pickleball.
With the young,
they excluded, it was like high school. They excluded the shitty players.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they were like, hey, you should come with us and play. And so I'm feeling myself. I'm like, all right.
Cocky.
And then I'm like, all right, I'm a competitor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm in the arena. I'm a fucking gladiator.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
So then I come in on a ball, which we're really not supposed to do too much. And then I come too far in. And then I have to backpedal, and while I'm backpedaling, I sprain my ankle, right? So I have to go to urgent care.
What do the kids say? The kids you were playing with.
Oh, everybody was very nice, but it's like very patchy. You're
a meme between their text chain right now?
First of all, I finished the class. I finished the scrimmage, okay? So just so anybody thinks I'm a pussy, I'm not. I finished the fucking scrimmage, all right? So that's first. Secondly, I go to urgent care, and the lady at urgent care is like, first of all, she says like, okay, so this is a doctor, right?
Yeah.
She took a Hippocratic oath or whatever the fuck they do.
Sure.
So she's like, how did you hurt it? And I'm like, I was playing pickleball. She laughs out loud at me.
I don't think it's funny.
I don't think it's that funny either. Secondly, she's like, oh, these things like come in waves. Like a couple years ago, we had like a lot of people playing basketball, getting injuries. So like, pickleball is really popular now. So it's probably just going in waves. And I say, almost like she's trying to comfort me. I think, oh, that's kind of nice. So I say, oh, are you getting a lot of pickleball injuries? Thinking like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one. She just looks me dead in the eyes and goes, no, you're the first one I've had. I'm like, what the fuck, lady?
That's a terrible segue.
Yeah, so she's basically like, no, a lot of people are playing. They're mostly older, but your fat ass is the only one coming into urgent care. You know what I mean?
feel like she set you up just like, why did she even bring it up?
Very hurtful.
That's very hurtful.
But then I also toughness, right? Mental toughness, physical toughness. So in addition to finishing the pickleball scrimmage, I go back to the gym. Mm-hmm. So now I'm at the gym, but I'm kind of like hobbling around, and it's difficult enough at the gym as a fat guy. It sucks to be a fat guy at the gym, right? So every morning I'm going to gym. I go in early. And I sit in my car and I gotta like talk myself into it. I'm like looking at the gym and I'm like, I don't want to go to this gym. But then I say to myself, like, you know what, Tom? You got nobody to blame it yourself.
Sure.
If you weren't super fat, you wouldn't have to go to the gym. But now you gotta go to the gym. So we're gonna go to the gym. You know what I mean?
So does your ankle still hurt right now?
Ankle, it doesn't like, so it's my right ankle, so I can like put weight on it.
Can't pivot.
And it's just like a sprain. It's fine. My foot's kind of sprained, you know, like I'm not a hero, but I am,
kind of a hero.
I mean, you know, whatever. So yeah, so I'm all right. It's a little bit, I can't do the doctor actually told that they told me like I'm not supposed to do like squats and deadlifts, but you can do whatever else. So that's fine. I'm not doing any cardio anyway. Obviously, look at me. But so now I got to go but I'm going. So like they say, you know what the heaviest weight at the gym is?
Opening the door?
It's the front door.
The front door. I didn't know that, but I guessed.
At the gym, you were on the right track.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so then I'm going, and so I go early, and like my gym also, it's not like a hardo gym, but it's not Planet Fitness. Like everybody's in pretty good shape.
Sure.
Except for this one guy who goes at the same time as me.
That's all you need is one person shitty.
So now I'm hobbling in and he's a fat guy. But then I get in my head because I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, fat guy, look at these fucking skinny people. We're doing it. Look at us. Listen, easier for us. You know what I mean? Like we're carrying weight just in the door. And then these people, it's easy for them.
Absolutely.
But then I think like he's probably a little skinnier than me, and I wonder like is he offended seeing me like overly nod to him?
Yeah,
because he thinks like that guy's fat. Why is he talking to me? You know what I mean? Like I'm not fat. You know what I'm saying? Build? He's about my size. He's probably a little smaller. You know what I mean? Okay. So, and he's running around. He's trying to do stuff. So he probably thinks like, why is this asshole looping me into the fat club? I don't want to be the fat club.
I guess wait to see if he starts giving you some tips like, hey, you could get off that treadmill faster if you X, Y, and Z.
Oh, what if he does like a patronizing? I've had this before. Like, and again, it's very nice, but when people see fat, a lot of times when fit people see fat people at the gym, they try to be encouraging, which I actually appreciate, right? They're like, hey, good job, you're getting after it.
Joey
hey, you're doing well,
Joey Swole would love it.
Which I always appreciate that. That's very kind of people, and it does make me feel better. But yeah, so he's going to start doing that to me probably. It's just patronizing. Like,
well, if he does, let me know. We'll plot against him. Okay. Question: the kids you play with, have you heard them called Gen AI yet? I've heard that before.
Gen AI. What do you mean?
So instead of like
generation,
instead of Gen Z, it's now Gen AI.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that though.
We'll talk about some AI stuff. But
those people weren't that young at the pickleball.
Well, the problem,
a little bit younger.
I feel like the problem with generation names is that we're millennials, which I don't like because like we talked about before.
Oldest millennials.
I didn't have Google until like 96 or 97. Right. I was still writing papers on like the Dewey Decimal System, so I feel like we should still be Gen Y. Or Gen X. Gen X?
Yeah.
But we're right at the cusp. It's like 85, and I know we're 82.
Right. I think it's kind of made out. They'll probably move it.
They'll move it, but Gen AI is what I heard. So, Tom, what I've been up to is a lot of Halloween activities.
Ooh, okay.
Which is only surprising to me as, not necessarily as a single dad, because I feel like this would have happened anyway.
Yeah.
But when we were growing up, I remember it was like, you get your Halloween costume maybe like a week before.
Okay.
And maybe 2, who knows?
Yeah.
But you wear it on fucking Halloween.
Yeah.
You don't wear it to anything before because you ruin it.
Functions.
But the kids these days, they've got Halloween walks, they've got trunk or treats.
I've had years where my kids have multiple costumes.
Multiple
costumes.
Like a shared concert.
You wear one
changing
thing to
costumes.
This, you wear a different thing for Halloween. Yeah. Or they'll wear like an old one because once your kids hit a certain age, they have a bunch of old costumes. And my son like didn't grow for a few years, so like his old costumes would fit. So he would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear this one, and then I'm gonna wear this one."
So when my oldest, who's now almost 8, when he was younger, he went as Spider-Man one year.
Yeah.
And he would wear that costume around the house like in the summer, and I loved it. I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, we have to go to this Halloween walk up in Beverly, and I know what it is. It's sort of going to be where it's like themed pumpkins, and there's like a Tim Burton theme, and then there's like a Harry Potter theme, and there's different stations and stuff that you go through. It's just a giant walk. It's probably like a half a mile loop, right?
Sure.
But they're bored as shit after like the first it takes with traffic up 95 and then 128. It takes probably like from where I am takes like an hour and a half to get there.
Yeah.
They put their costumes on. They're walking through. Not every kid has a costume.
Yeah.
They want to take their masks off. One of them decided the little one wanted to be Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I got him the costume with like the muscles, and he's got the retractable claws.
Yeah.
But halfway through, less than halfway through, like 10 feet through, he's like, "Can you hold my mask? I'm holding that." Of course. And then the other one wants to be like a plant from Plants vs Zombies. It's a video game.
Okay.
And he's got this big like plush head on.
Yeah.
That lasts like 5 seconds.
Right.
He's
They
like,
don't
can you
want
hold
the
that?
head, and you gotta hold the head.
And then as we're walking through,
You can't squish it. You can't lose it. So you gotta like, you know what I mean?
I'm like,
you get 7 other Halloween functions that you gotta bring it to.
and I'm like a dad, so it's not like I got a fanny pack, but I get the
No,
backpack.
right.
So
Yeah.
I stuff whatever I can in the backpack, but it also has their waters, inhalers, like things that I need like for
Totally.
emergency.
Yeah.
So I'm holding most of it under my disgusting armpit.
Yeah.
And then the little one, we're in this giant line. It's almost like one of the displays was like really popular. I think it was the Harry Potter one.
Sure.
And it backs up. It becomes like a single file, like backs up.
Yeah.
And the kids want to pass people, but I'm like, you gotta wait your turn. Whatever.
Yeah.
So the little one's like, I gotta pee.
Uh-oh.
We can't turn back.
The worst. The worst.
I gotta like pick him up
worst.
over like the lights, walk him into the woods, which I'm petrified of like falling or slipping or whatever. Take his stuff off, but he's still of that age where like
Keep an eye on the other kid too.
yeah, exactly. Like make sure he's not gonna be molested.
Yeah.
And the little one pulls his pants all the way down to pee, so his bare ass is hanging out. I'm like blocking him in the trees or whatever. But I don't remember it being that way when we were younger.
I don't think
like
we
I
did
said.
as many things. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's like my kid, right. So you have like there's hay mazes, right?
Yeah.
There's like, and these are kind of fall things too. But there's like, so my kids are older now too, and they do. I never really used to do these, but they do the haunted woods things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like the witch's woods,
Like the
all
witch's
those.
woods, yeah.
It's like a million of those, but every town, like it's funny too, as your kids get older, you figure out like my son did high school sports and he's done like 8 car washes, right? Like they all do the same fundraisers.
Yeah.
So like every town is like, crush a fucking haunted woods thing and we'll just put up 3 things and have people, the kids, the free labor run out and scare people. You know what I mean?
Do they do that? Does it work?
They do that all the time. When my kids were little, they would get scared, right? Like not little, but like, a little older than your kids, but they would maybe sometimes get scared. My son was actually like a little bit more scared than my daughter. She kind of sniffed it out. She was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But and then the like more intense ones, like the Witch's Woods ones are actually like kind of intense, and they do like zombie-ish characters and chainsaws and shit like
I love
that.
when they have to tell you now. It's like the performers won't touch you.
Yeah, right.
Because there is that whole like,
Right.
like what if it's not part of the show and it's just some weirdo? Because it's dark over there.
That was a controversy. My daughter's high school, they had one of the kids was not like, in a weird way, but like touching people in a scary way. And they got in trouble because
can't
people
touch.
were like, you can't,
You can't touch it.
Yeah.
You get us permission. Trust me, I am well aware.
Yeah.
But Tom, you did note my jacket at the beginning.
Your jacket is
So
fire.
this is
an amazing jacket.
This is this jacket. Every time I wear it,
Yeah.
I wore it a couple times recently. Compliments
bet.
galore.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Probably more than the Hitman jacket. So this
Wow.
is my satin Blockbuster video jacket.
Okay.
Be Kind Rewind. You got a nice
Yeah.
Blockbuster logo
Yeah.
on the back. Look at the Blockbuster logo.
Yeah, amazing.
I also am color coordinated with the Brewers hat
Yes.
tonight because I'm kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Well, that's
It's what I do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I went to Hollywood and I went to this like Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy reading thing.
Uh-huh.
And it was at a movie theater
yeah.
in Salem. And the woman who I feel like was probably my age, but it's very difficult to guess my age.
Uh-huh.
She was like, I like your jacket, even
Yeah.
though you're probably ironically mocking me. And I'm like, first of all, lady, I don't think you realize how much I love Blockbuster Video.
Oh my God, it was amazing. Yeah.
There was one in the town we grew up.
Yeah.
And there was 2 restaurants on either side of it.
Yep.
It was DeVito's and then Chung King.
Yep,
And
Chinese food.
some of my fondest memories
Pizza.
during VHS days would be like, okay, you and a girl, you and guys, whatever, you buddies, you go to those one of those 2 places, you put in your order.
Yeah.
Right. Then you go to Blockbuster and you walk around aimlessly.
Yeah.
Like new releases, old releases. Their Blockbuster has a distinct smell. In fact, on
Yeah.
like Etsy and all these places, you can find a candle they call Video Store, and it's like vanilla with popcorn and
Yeah.
like butter, like kind of like Jelly Bellies, how they
Yeah,
make,
yeah, yeah.
buttered popcorn.
Sure.
It smells just like that.
Yeah.
And I bought a bunch of those candles because I love Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Like the idea that you think I would wear like a jacket to make fun of you,
Yeah.
pretty insane.
I mean, seriously, yeah. No, it was like it is funny. It's like a special because there isn't for movies and music. Although like there are still people still sell and buy CDs. I feel
Yeah.
like in a way that they don't DVDs and tapes or VHS or whatever. But it was like a physical exploration of movies that you can't really do anymore, right? Like you just and the I think also the experience just like spiritually of like flicking through Netflix and shit is so depressing and annoying and everything that it's like it makes it even more nostalgic, right? That you could walk through and see these things. And also it was like there was kind of pre-internet really. So you were like surprised. You were like, I didn't even know that guy was in that movie. I didn't know that movie existed. Right.
The box art was so important to like what you
Right.
did.
Yeah.
Not new releases because you obviously knew when they were coming out. And you knew
You
what
read
to
the
look
back
for.
like a book. Like, what's the description of this movie? What is this movie about?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. So I know every couple of years there's a new documentary, and I know I'm like Mandela affecting this, but every couple of years there's a new documentary about like the last blockbuster.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I know it's in the West Coast, maybe like Portland or somewhere in that area. But I feel like it changes all the time, like because they're owned individually. They just basically bought the franchising rights.
Sure.
So I have no idea how they get the creative and the intellectual property to like put up the logos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But apparently there's still one left. I know Airbnb did this thing where you could like sleep at the last Blockbuster.
Oh, right.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love Blockbuster. And I remember when we transitioned to on-demand video, I was like, oh, this is great. But to your point, like after you scroll for a while, there is something about like, I want to get a new release and then rent Spaceballs.
Right.
But like when I don't see them on the on-demand, I don't think about it.
Right.
But if I just peruse Blockbuster,
you'd be like,
about it.
you'd have like a serendipity to what you pick, right? Yeah.
And I love it, and it's gone now. But I have the jacket, so this is the second jacket.
It's a great jacket.
Many jackets more to come.
I was looking at colleges again with my daughter.
Yeah.
And we went to like kind of a remote rural part of Maine.
Yeah, those pictures were wild.
Schools, and I sent you a picture of the mall. The mall was like from the 90s.
Yeah.
And they had a Radio Shack, which is another one that's like, I don't know how many Radio Shacks there are. I Googled, there's only 650 J.C. Penney's. They had a J.C. Penny, which we used to have near
Where is
us
it bumping?
a
Where
lot.
people are like in and out of it?
The mall was the weirdest mall. So they had, dude, my son counted, they had 33 gumball machines.
That picture was pretty wild. Is that like in the middle of the mall, or like
That was in the middle
store?
of the mall, and then they had like, but there was a gumball machine that was like inside of a store, like right inside the entrance.
Yeah.
And they were just like, it was kind of like they were like, hey, we need to trap a pedophile. Like, what are they like? And they went on like Facebook
gumballs.
Marketplace, and they were like, this guy has 50 gumball machines. Let's fucking get him, throw him in there. Like, it was a very strange experience. It didn't feel like a real mall. It felt like a set for a 90s mall.
The picture that you sent that I even told you I think it resonated the most with me was the one that had the benches built out of brick built into like a structure in the middle of the mall.
No.
That was very Billerica Mall.
It was a lot of wood paneling and neon to the point where I literally wanted to stop people and be like, hey, is this like ironic? Are you guys being like, you know what I mean? Like, is this like
cutesy?
Is this a nod to the 90s, or is this like, did they just leave it?
They're like, what's internet? This is wild. This is wild. What's wild? So more jackets to come. This is just the second, and I think Tom likes it. So where can you find Tom and I? You can email us at divorcewithfriends@gmail.com. You can go to Instagram at divorcewithfriends. You can go to Twitter, divorcewfpod. Again, we have more followers on TikTok, but after the first video, I was kind of nervous to load more. So as we do the first drop video, and then we do the second week of the drop video, I promise I will load them again. So if you see them on Instagram and you don't want to see them on TikTok, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, but they're going to be there. So we're going to start to expand our footprint. Because Gen AI,
you're not seeing them. You're getting in the For You, right? Like everybody just gets their own bullshit.
Yeah, I get friends. I don't know how to really use TikTok. I'm not really.
Bunch of, what was the weird pregnancy porn or whatever you get?
Man, I get that everywhere now. I get that on Pornhub. They're like, we know what you're watching. I'm like, fuck. You do. So, Tom, we're going to get into listener feedback, but one thing I do want to say, I want to thank all of our listeners. So in September, as you know, Divorce with Friends had its biggest month ever of downloads. We were up 43% from the month before. So thank you to everybody. We were over 400 downloads in the month, which for the big podcast out there, it's no big deal. But for Tom and I, who started basically with a format that we thought was going to work, we kind of fucked around and found out. We went from 100 downloads in the month in April, and now we're up to about 400. Yeah. So thank you to every person out there in Singapore, Israel, United States.
Yeah,
I know,
it's crazy.
We never know. Canada's still on there, even though Toronto Rob's been fucking around. We get a lot of listeners, and I just want to thank everybody who's helped Tom and I.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you to everybody. Yeah.
But we should get serious for a minute, because we're going to get into listener feedback.
We got a lot of emails this week.
We have a lot of emails.
Controversial week last week.
One of them was not good. So, Tom, you want to take the first one? It's entitled Wasted Memories.
Ooh, okay. So I don't read these pre-show. Bobby just kind of feeds these to me.
Yeah.
So this is all going to be news to me. Although I did see the second one. Hey, guys. Started listening to the show. You guys are great. Just started listening to the show. You guys are great. My wife and I have a friendly disagreement This is one of their 4 fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a friendly disagreement about taking an expensive family vacation and wanted your guys' opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it came to the right place. I feel like our kids ages 8, 6, and 4 are still too young to really remember or appreciate a big trip, so I'd rather wait until they're older. My wife's point is that it's all about creating family memories, blah, blah. I don't know. Stop listening at that
My favorite
point.
part of the email, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. I wonder you're having these fights and disagreements. At what age is it worth spending big on a vacation for kids? Is it cheaper to just get divorced?
I will tell you firsthand, no, it is
Mike
not.
from Gmail notes.
It's not cheaper to get divorced. This email reminded me of that Nate Bargatze skit about saying he was going to take his daughter to Disney. And
Yeah.
I won't butcher it, but basically they're like, she's not developing memories.
Yeah.
So his joke is like, all right, I'm gonna throw her in the closet, and every day I'm gonna ask her if she remembers, right? Because like I get his point, like spending all that money on like a giant vacation, and let's pretend it was Disney, right?
Yeah.
That's probably like tens of thousands of dollars for a family for a big vacation.
Yeah.
I have heard, and this is why I do it with my boys every year, it doesn't matter where you go. It's just that you went somewhere and you get those memories.
Yeah.
So I take my boys up to the lakes in New Hampshire every year, even though it's just us now. And they love it. They look forward to it in a way where I wouldn't imagine that they would. And granted, it's not like that trip that this guy's talking about, Mike on Gmail's talking about, but it is sort of like, I do want them to have that like sense of like, this is the fun thing that we did, because you never know what they'll remember.
So I have some takes here. So one, do you know this is kind of a weird transition, but you know, like the pickup artist stuff?
Yeah,
right.
Of course I know.
So one of the,
I'm not good at it, but yeah.
I might have said this on the podcast. I can't keep straight like what I say on the podcast enough. But so there's a sort of like psychological, I think scientifically proven like premise. This is from the pickup artist, where like if you and another person do 3 things together in a day or more, then you have like a higher level of like bonding, right? You're like more bonded to that person, like emotionally, right? So the pickup artists like exploit this to try to trick women into sleeping with them, and they do it. I think it's called like a 3-stop date or some bullshit like that, whatever they do. So, but I think that's true for like your family too. So if you just plan something, it doesn't have to be like Disney World, but if you do something where at Disney World's, you could do it at Disney World, but if you're doing like 3 things or more together, then you have like that becomes a special experience. It could be anything. Right?
Well, that's why even those Halloween walks that they were like, let's go. I'll put my costume on, and they're 5 minutes into it. Like maybe they'll remember that.
Yeah, but you do that. I used to do that with my kids all the time, where it would be like, I would plan out a day, and this is my other trick too. I would plan out a day and refuse to tell them when they were little what we were doing. Yeah. Because then you can always pivot or cancel, depending on their behavior. And then I would just try to do like a few things, right? And it's like, okay, we're going to go here. All right, we're going to go here. All right, we're going to go here. And then like no single thing is precious. It's not like, oh, we're going to Greatwood Lodge, and if it doesn't work, then it sucks. It's like, hey, we're going to do these 3 things. But even within Greatwood Lodge or
it's
Disney,
I'm going to say Great Wolf, just in case they want to sponsor us one day.
Great Wolf, fuck man, so old. So Great Wolf Lodge. I'm going to start Greatwood Lodge. It's going to be like Great Wolf Lodge, but like way more boring.
Divorced with Friends.
Yeah, it's like a sad divorce version of Great Wolf Lodge. It's cheaper. You can't like, it's only for
the rooms are all 1 bedroom.
Yeah, well, like keep an eye on your kid while you go to the bathroom because you don't have a spouse with you or whatever. But like you could do at Disney, and then the Disney thing is true. Like there's similar metrics for like Disney. If you get on 10 rides, that's your like satisfaction goes through the roof or whatever. So it's the same thing. You just do a certain number of things, and then like you'll have a good experience, and those will be core memories. I like doing the same stuff over. So my family's been to Disney a lot. Yeah. We go to Maine all the time. So I like doing, because then it's like, that's a core memory. You really like remember that when you're older.
Absolutely.
It's like a nostalgia to that place. I did that as a kid too. Like we went to Maine.
I think that those are great. So as much as I do appreciate Mike's email about, tuning his wife out, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I stopped listening. As much as I love that attitude, I got to say, I do think taking your kids anywhere while you can, because there is that idea that you will know your kids longer as adults than you do as children.
Also, eight. Yeah. Oh, that's a depressing. Have you heard that stat?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like what is it? It's like 90% of the time that you spend with your kids is over when they turn 18.
Yeah, and that's
So sad for me.
And as much as like there's moments where my kids drive me absolutely crazy with assessing questions, repeat like by the way, the same question over and over again. Like I swear like are we in like a time loop? Like, am I imagining this? As much as that drives me crazy, like the wonder in his mind or whoever's mind asking those questions. It's just like he'll never get back to me.
The curiosity.
So, as much as I want to be like, shut the fuck up, I won't. So I think Mike should go on the vacation.
Also, four is rough, but 8 and 6 are perfect ages for stuff like that.
Well, my 4-year-old's about to turn 5.
And
my sister and her husband and her kids came over last week, and she was like, he looks different. He looks older. He hit that milestone where like he's no longer a toddler. And I know exactly what she means. So
depends on the kid too, and it depends on your, obviously like your financial situation. I mean, do whatever you think makes sense. I don't know. Who knows?
I think Mike should shut the fuck up.
But go on vacations.
Go on vacation.
Don't be an asshole.
All right. So the next one, Tom, is actually a response to trench mouth. So if you remember from last week, you talked about your mom having fear of trench mouth.
My mom, among many things, my mom was like worried about the cold and actually like, whatever, diseases, things like that.
Yeah.
But
so we got an
trench
email.
mouth is one specifically that she mentioned. And again, so like soda, I wasn't like allowed to drink soda from a can without rinsing the top of the can. Right. So we got an email on that. Great show, guys. Thank you. You need a phone a friend segment. When Tom mentioned trench mouth, your response should have been, let's call Mary. Her mom's a hygienist and she'll know.
I'll explain that.
Yeah, you gotta explain that. So, okay. This is the digest on trench mouth. Okay, trench mouth does have roots to soldiers in the trenches getting a severe case of gingivitis. Obviously, it had a lot to do with their priorities of staying alive versus brushing and flossing, kind of letting them off the hook with the bad hygiene there. But today, we just refer to it as necrotizing, which sounds a little problematic, gingivitis. It's not contagious. It can be quite painful when the gum issue becomes red, I bet, / swollen, and the gums form ulcer-like sores. Yeah. That does sound pretty...
It sounds pretty bad.
Love Vito's mother.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's from Linda on Gmail. Sorry, Linda on Yahoo, which I love. She's still on Yahoo.
That is perfect.
Which I still... People
that's
are
great.
going to be like, Vito, don't you have Yahoo? But it was for fantasy sports.
Yes,
so I just
that's
have
true.
it for that.
Yeah, that's true.
The joke in here that I thought was just like classic mom was, let's call Mary. Her mom is a hygienist and she'll know. So the reason for that is she saw this Something About Mary in the theaters in like 98.
Sure.
And there's that scene where Ben Stiller gets his balls in his cut in his zipper. And they're calling everybody.
Yeah.
So the dad's like, let's call Mary's mom. She's a hygienist. She'll know.
Yeah.
And my mom, who retired but was a dental hygienist, thought that was like an ode to her. My parents throw that line into everything. Call Linda. She's a hygienist. Call Mary's mom. She's a hygienist. So that's where that came from.
I love it.
But I do appreciate that despite the shit that I say on this podcast, she's an avid listener.
She's a trooper for that.
She really
that's
is.
amazing.
Because
she's lived with you and your brother her whole life.
Yeah, and there's way more stories, and I try to do it. But thank you very much, Linda. So the next one is called Hollywood, right? So it is. Bobby, I got to say you're consistent with the nicknames. In fact, Tom, even you got a nickname.
I got to have a nickname now.
You're the bear.
Yeah, Vito and the Bear sounds like a zoo morning show, by the way. Like
it does.
Radio, yeah.
It does. In fact, even our creative on Instagram with like the AI, people love the bear.
Yeah,
so I put them up tonight. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Canceled.
But you've explained them all from Vito to Bukkake to Dishwasher Czar to Toronto Rob. We even got Tom the Bear's origin as it unfolded. Yet there is one name you've said more than once with no explanation.
That's not true.
Over the last 4 or 5 episodes, you've mentioned Hollywood is someone you're seeing, but we don't know why she or he. You never know.
Is this A? Is that?
This is not from A. You never know if he or she, right, in Hollywood, why they're Hollywood. Can you explain this? So that's from
You
Beth.
Did briefly explain it, I think.
So
I think
there is more to it, though. So the thing about like photos and stuff like that, that's obviously the real thing. But the way I get the inspiration for Hollywood, and we talked about this at nauseum too. I'm not very deep. I just know a lot about wrestling.
Sure.
So I thought about one of the most popular angles in professional wrestling, which was the NWO with WCW.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan. So the whole point of him was when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall showed up, they were going to bring the third man, and no one knew who it was. It was a mystery, and it turned out to be Hollywood Hogan. It was Hulk Hogan. He turned heel.
So this is an homage.
It's an homage. So I don't know a lot about a lot of things at all, but whenever
that's not true. You know a lot about it.
But like whenever like something comes up about like I want to do like some sort of like clandestine name, I go back to like my wrestling roots.
Reference.
So that, Beth, is where Hollywood came from. It's not anything crazy. It's just that's where the idea came from.
In the shades, right?
In the shades. And she was that, like, I think that was sort of what kind of went along with it too.
Right.
But that was where the idea came. Who's the mystery person?
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
So that's what it
Love
was.
it.
That's all it is. So the next one is an audio message. And this one is from our sponsor. If you remember last week, Prisco dildos. So we sold them out of their home modeling kits. So we didn't really explain what they were, but basically the home modeling kits are outside of their extensive collection of dildos that if you go to one of their shops or their website, the modeling kit is something for your wife or boyfriend. I don't know what you're into.
Right.
And it is a home kit that you can take back with you and you plaster your penis and it makes the mold of your penis.
Okay.
And basically they were like, I think that's great, but we're sold out of them. Can you take them out of this week's copy? Blah, 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 blah. It's a little too late for that. But he called. He wanted to have a conversation with me about what this week's copy was going to be.
Okay.
But I didn't pick up. So he left a message. We're gonna play that message right now. Okay.
Hook 'em hog.
Fuck you, dude. What do you think, you're bigger than
Hook
us?
'em hog.
We're bigger than us? You think you're
He's
bigger
out
than
drinking,
us?
obviously.
You got a fucking podcast?
I was out with
Let's
my
see that
kids.
hog. Let's see the fucking terrible dick that you own.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that.
So he's right.
That
So
was insulting.
he was insulting. So basically,
Yeah,
it was like I was
aggressive.
out with my kids. He's out with the No More Mouse. That's
yeah.
who Hook 'em Hog is in the back.
Yeah.
But basically, he's like, let's see your terrible dick.
Wow.
And I said, look, we're gonna play that on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an extra ad for you.
Yeah.
Prisco dildos.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try our best to change the copy. We can't really do it this week, but that's where we are with Prisco dildos.
Yeah, they're aggressive, which I guess is what you want, a dildo.
They're
right?
very
So,
aggressive.
yeah.
So I think he got the notoriety that he wanted from the Divorce with Friends podcast. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah, that seems like a good return. Yeah.
I think so,
We'll
too.
try it out. We'll
see how it
do
goes.
some molds with our terrible dicks. Yeah,
So I think Terrible Dicks is a good episode name. We'll see. Let's see if we like that.
that's good.
Okay, so next we want to get solemn for a minute. We want to get serious. So Tom,
Yeah,
out of all this is now our 12th episode. Okay,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm a bad friend to you because in 12 episodes you've kept me out of trouble.
Yeah.
You've said, hey, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Hey, edit that. Hey, don't say that. Don't play this video, even though I want to play this video.
Yeah.
Don't play it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Tom, you're a good friend. But you said something, and I was just so wrapped up in the moment, I didn't catch it.
yeah.
And we got a lot of hate for it.
We got to talk about the listener email. Yeah,
So what's weird is that out of all the things that I've said, nothing has got us canceled. Probably because of you.
yeah.
But we're almost canceled.
Tough, yeah.
Because of something you said the last time. So I'm going to read the email.
Okay.
And then we're going to play the audio in case
Okay.
people forgot it, right?
Okay.
So it's, guys, what's up with the amputee dog slander?
Uh-oh.
I thought this was a pro amputee podcast. Now, I get that email from Evan on
Yeah.
Gmail, and I'm like, Evan, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're pro everybody.
We love it.
We love everybody. What are you talking about? Is there a timestamp? And he says, yeah, there's a timestamp. It's at 24 minutes and 20 seconds. So
Yeah.
I'm going to play that email or that audio for us right now.
Okay. Pity, love. You know what I mean?
John.
It's like a love that's like, oh yeah, like like if you have like a puppy that's missing a leg kind of deal.
You think
know
so?
what I mean? yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
So
Yeah.
he writes back that I know that wasn't Tom. That was his creatine addiction.
That's
talking.
right. I was high on creatine, but yeah.
But Tom,
Well,
what do you have to say about
listen,
it?
so we talked on this podcast about apologies.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't say like apologize. I'm sorry.
If. There's no if.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, if that's how you took it or whatever. We don't do that.
But before you start,
Yeah.
Now I realize we have to take this very seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went to the maestro. I went
Yeah.
to Dean Corsi.
Oh,
And I said,
yes.
hey, Tom fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't help him, so I
Yeah.
fucked up too. We fucked up.
Okay.
All right. Can you write us an apology bumper? And then we're going to
apology
make sure that everybody knows it's solemn. We're
Which
serious.
people should have with their apologies, honestly, right?
So he wrote an intro and an outro for us. So before we do that, I want to say we're going to play it, and I'm going to say, Tom, are you ready for the apology? Because
Yep.
I want to make sure we apologize to Evan.
Yep.
For insulting the amputee
Yep.
community, because Evan obviously is in that community, as
Yep.
we all know, and Evan's a great guy.
He's
in the fact
amazing.
we're not embarrassed.
best.
He's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
We would never purposely do it. So Tom, you tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna play the intro, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna do it live.
Yeah, go ahead. So, yeah, I do. So again, I'm leader of men, parent, so I have to hand up. I apologize. I misspoke. We love the amputee community. We love amputee puppies, especially. They're great. If you have one, I'll pet it.
Yeah.
Give you some, I don't know, I'll donate to that community. I'm going to make a donation, to that community. So I apologize unequivocally, no qualifications whatsoever. Now, people have said, right, since we talked to Evan, people have said, oh, is it really Toronto Rob's fault?
Probably.
Right? Is it, you were responding to Toronto Rob. Toronto Rob has kicked amputee puppies. People have said, I don't know about that. But I'm saying, like, this is not about Toronto Rob, even though that was, like, what, again, sort of like led me to, make that comment.
Yeah.
And plus the creatine. But that's not, no excuses.
No.
So it's not Toronto Rob's, that specific, a lot of things are Toronto Rob's fault. That's not one of them. And I apologize without qualification. So that's.
So, Evan, that was our apology from Divorced with Friends. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're sorry. And now we're going to move on to something a lot more fun than apologies for that.
Good.
And Tom, I think you're going to run this story. So, weird shit in the news. It was brought to our attention a couple weeks ago, or a week ago maybe, that ChatGPT is now going to get into the erotic chats, I suppose. It's erotica. They're getting into erotica.
If this guy Sam Altman is obviously like, he's one of these, mom maybe took some Tylenol. You know what I mean?
A little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
A little bit.
And he is such a weirdo. And obviously, like, whatever, super genius, fine. Such a weirdo. Elon Musk hates him, right? He's got this rivalry with Elon Musk. And he is the CEO of OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT, right? And he's a super creep, super weirdo. So they're constantly rolling out new features and new things. So one of the things he said was, like, he wants ChatGPT to be able to, like, talk to you like a friend. So they're going to do that. But also, right, if you verify that you're an adult, which I think is kind of like the check that you're 18 kind of thing, click here if you're 18, which no under 18 person is.
Promise me that you're 18.
Yeah. Then you can get erotica on ChatGPT. And ChatGPT will talk to you in a sexual manner, I think. Ice clanking.
I guess I don't really understand why that is a term. I mean, some people like phone sex.
Yeah.
I'm like a meat and potatoes guy, so that falls into the meat and potatoes category.
Yeah.
But I need the visual.
Yeah.
So I just would go to Pornhub because it's there.
Well, no, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. But again, I think so first of all, this is probably a precursor to literally like an AI avatar that looks like a person that's talking to you, like it's chat.
Well, they have like the life-size
robots.
the life-size sex dolls.
Yeah.
So you got to think at one point they're going to be programmed with
robots
AI.
coming, yeah.
And then
like Westworld. Do you ever see that? They have the.
I did. Well, and that movie that just came out, Companion.
Okay.
Where the girl is AI. She's a robot. She's got AI.
Sure.
And basically, like they fuck with her circuits to murder somebody, and there's a whole setup, whatever. But one of the guys who works for this AI company who like comes to like dispose of her, they're like, yeah, we don't know if we believe them. A lot of guys do this shit. They fuck around and then they beat the shit out of them. So it's like this whole idea of like an AI robot.
You're gonna be so pissed.
Beat the shit out of it
when your second marriage ends and you have to pay your AI robot.
Oh my god. Can you imagine?
Because you didn't get an AI robot prenup, and
I will not make that.
You were
mistake.
like, this one's different. Like this is gonna last forever.
Do you think there's like a common law thing with robots too? You're like, she's like, I lived with this fucking piece of shit for 7 years, and he made me like rub his feet every night. Like
I could have had a robot career. I could have had I could have had my own robot life, but I've been supporting him. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how horny, like on a 1 to 10 scale, do you have to be like, I'm into ChatGPT? 6.
Yeah, I think it's like, well, I want to say like a 10, but I also think it's just like that's some people's thing, right? Like some people, I just don't get how you could disassociate. And I guess this is like everything. It's like the people who like cartoons and stuff. It's like, it just seems hard to me to disassociate that that's like a robot that's talking to you.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know what I mean? Like you'd have to really do some like work to be like, no, this is a woman telling me this.
I'm into it. Yeah, because like what I was thinking was like the prompts where you're like write like what you're into.
Yeah.
So it's like first I'm like it's like reading erotica, which is like pilgrim shit, right? Like fucking pilgrims are reading that stuff. Versus like, all right, maybe there's like maybe there's audio. I'm sure there's a voice to it.
Yeah.
It's just like if you go.
Well, that's I think like so ChatGPT came out with Sora too, which is their video thing, and it's amazing and it's like weirdly good, and it's only does like 10 seconds now, but you can see where that's the end.
A lot of guys wouldn't last 10 seconds, so there you go.
There you go. But that's the end game, I think, right? It's like eventually it's just like you give it a prompt and you're like, there's a, right, whatever, like a hot woman who's telling me whatever I want to hear and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if
Hot guy.
I'll tell you what, for the pod, I'll try it when it
Okay.
comes out.
Yeah.
I have no shame,
Okay.
but I'll try it. I don't see the appeal of it right now, but then
Yeah.
again, I have to be like shown the value.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be like, oh, I did this thing with this AI thing, and I'll be like, well, I'll fucking try that.
Maybe the end of the podcast is never come out of your room.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe. I mean, I was against
girlfriend.
VR porn until I got a VR headset, and then
There you go.
I'm completely pro
Yeah.
VR porn.
See?
So
Pro.
I feel like there you go.
So pro VR porn, pro amputee dogs, just for the record.
So far we're at episode of pros.
Yep.
So moving on to our first segment, odd things that don't make sense to me
Mm-hmm.
is the next one I want to talk about was elderly dating. Okay, elderly dating, Tom.
Gross.
Yes, that is right,
That's-
Napoleon. It is fucking gross, but you think about it, they gotta fuck too. Right?
Yeah.
They got to fuck too. So I came across this article, and it basically says that amongst adults 55 and older in mainly assisted living homes or retirement communities, syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia are on the rise, according to the CDC and Centers for Disease Prevention.
Yeah, they let it fly.
So,
That's like a cliche thing, right? It's
Yeah.
like they all kind of bang. And
well, I know about like
you're not worried about getting pregnant.
No, well, actually, that kind of goes into it, right? So basically, from data from the Public Health Agency shows a significant rise in STDs between 2012 and 2022. During that time period, a number of syphilis cases has increased sevenfold, gonorrhea has increased nearly fivefold, and chlamydia has more than tripled.
So,
okay?
first of all, if there's anything the real world taught us,
Yeah.
it's that if you put a bunch of people around the same age
Sure.
in a living situation, they're going to fuck.
They're gonna. It's
And my
the
second
real
question
world,
is-
it's like the real world for old people.
How do we not have that show?
I know.
How do we not already have assisted living 90210 or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Like, how do we not have what are the popular reality shows like?
That's fucking.
I don't even remember.
They have Love on the Spectrum. They fall around
Love
autistic
in the
kids.
assisted living home,
Fucking
right?
make fun of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But they don't have like Grandma's Gonna Fuck.
Yeah.
Which would be a great show.
I think they need that, right?
So the article goes on to say is that no one wants to think about grandma doing this. You certainly aren't going to ask her if she wears condoms. And then they say, and this is the part I have a problem with.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem because every individual, regardless of their age, has the right to intimacy. I'm going to tell you, grandma's right to intimacy is not why I'm not asking her why she's not fucking wearing condoms. It's because I don't want to be disgusted. I don't want to ask her these questions.
Yeah, it's
not
not-
for intimacy.
you know.
It's for my own
I don't have
fucking.
to ask everybody about their intimacy. They can have it. I don't
No.
need to know about it. Yeah.
So the as you pointed out, so the reason for this is the increased sexual activity due to longer lifespans,
Yeah.
right? And erectile dysfunction medicine. So
Yeah.
so guys, they're obviously guys and girls.
Sure.
They're living longer, and
Yeah.
these men now have access to Viagra. They
Yeah.
can fuck all night.
Oh, we could have a sponsor for that. Those guys are shelling out money for podcasts. We're happy to take that money. Yeah.
Absolute Blue
Hims
Chew.
or
We'll
whatever.
take them
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
We'll take them all. Also, another reason a reduced perception in the a reduced perception of risk of pregnancy. I don't think there's a perception in that. I don't think you can get pregnant if you're that old.
Sure.
Most of the time, and that's the other one. And then the other one is lower condom usage, obviously due to misconceptions or discomfort, which I can relate to. So imagine this fucking guy. Imagine Earl goes into Sally's room.
Yeah.
And he's trying to fuck her, and she's
Yeah.
like, you got to put on this condom. He's going to say something witty from the 50s, like
Yeah.
condoms are for sailors or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. And she's going to be so embarrassed that she said it and like suggested it. Earl is just going to slide in,
Yeah.
either get chlamydia or give her chlamydia,
Yeah.
or gonorrhea, which is
Sure.
terrible. And that's what I think is happening over there. And that is pretty disgusting when you stop and think about it.
I don't know. I think it's beautiful. I think it's good for them.
I mean, I'm pro.
They're all riding their horses. Yeah.
know, I want-
We're a sex positive podcast,
Well,
right?
it transitioned me to think about old people in my life having sex.
Well, let's not do that.
Well, unfortunately,
bridge too far, yeah.
unfortunately, like this actually happened to me. So my grandfather, who's passed away a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
he was an amazing guy.
Yeah.
But when my grandmother passed away in 2012,
Yeah.
he took a year off, right, out of respect for the dead,
Yeah.
and then that was in January 2012, and starting in January of 2013, the training wheels came off.
Let's go.
He's just like,
Yeah.
by the way, I've done my morning, like
Time
I'm
to
ready
roll.
to fuck. And no joke, he went on Plenty of Fish.
Okay.
He was telling me about this new one called J-Date. You meet
Yeah.
all these rich women. What J-Date, he tells me.
He's not even Jewish.
No, he's not even Jewish. He's definitely not. Any Harmony.
Yeah.
And basically, he thought, I think, because this was in 2013, so I'm like 30, I think. he thinks that him and I at the time, because I was single, he thinks that we're gonna go out and like crush it.
Yeah.
Like he thinks that I'm gonna be his wingman, or there's gonna be some sort of weird movie where like we're going out like crushing puss together, right?
Another great Netflix show.
What's crushing puss?
Yeah, you and Grandpa. Crushing puss with the grandpa.
With Joe.
Yeah.
So he basically thinks that that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And his dating life kind of proceeds into like a few different things. So he brings this strange woman to my cousin's wedding, and it's like the first time that we meet her, which is very bizarre.
Sure.
Another cousin goes over there and he tells my cousin that he's like, and this is how he talks. Hey Bob.
Yeah.
He tells my cousin, he's like, hey Jeff, I'm blah blah blah, 80-something years old, and I don't even need Viagra. He's telling him this, and it's like disgusting. Yeah. But the story kind of culminates with he meets this woman online, Ruth.
Sure.
And because my grandfather
very
old,
name for that.
very fucking old, and even though I love my grandmother to death,
sure.
right? And I was like appalled that he's doing this. Yeah. The line in my family was like, my grandmother used to keep the cuckoo in the clock.
Okay.
And obviously that's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
So my grandfather was like, I met this woman, Ruth. He calls her Ruthie.
Ruthie.
I met Ruthie, and I want to take her up for dinner, but there's a problem. My grandfather doesn't drive anymore. So he's like, can you drive me to the Longhorn Steakhouse in Nashua? I'm gonna take Ruthie out. I'm like, oh my God.
Great elderly date spot.
Phenomenal.
Perfect.
So I'm kind of torn because, as I mentioned, super close.
Does that have the peanuts, or is that the other one?
No,
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse has the
Roadhouse
peanuts.
has the peanuts.
So this one's on the Daniel Webster. So basically, I have to decide if I tell my mom, right? Because I'm like kind of torn. I don't want my grandfather to get in this weird situation.
Yeah.
But I love my grandmother. But at the same time, I'm like, I gotta fucking guy code.
Yeah.
So I drive up there, and we take his truck because that's what he likes to do. So I'm driving his truck, and we're driving. And he's like, "Hey, Bob. So I got Ruthie a birthday card. It's her birthday. You think that's okay?" And I'm like, "That wasn't part of the agenda, but yeah, just a birthday card." It's like, just a card. So we get to the Longhorn, and I think I'm going to sit at the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sitting at the bar.
Sure.
So when he sees her, she's wearing like a velour tracksuit with like rhinestones in it. It's like the
Ruthie
weirdest.
goes hard.
Ruthie was
Ruthie.
Ruthie was looking for some dick.
Yeah.
And my grandfather's like, "No, Bob, you're gonna sit with us." Yeah. So I'm sitting next to my grandfather and across from this strange woman.
Wow. And you think he was trying to like show you the way? He was like,
probably.
You know what I mean? You think he was like, come sit under my wing here?
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna teach you how to fuck.
He's like, you're 30. You don't have a date tonight. I got Ruthie. Exactly. You need some help. Like, come sit by me.
Hey, Ruthie, you got a granddaughter? Bring your granddaughter. Yeah. Right? You got somebody. So what I find immediately happens is neither one of them can hear the fucking other person.
Okay.
So he'll be like, he's like, "Hey, nice weather we have here," and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "The weather, it's nice." And she's like, "What, Joe?" And he's like, "The weather."
You're like,
and I'm
screaming at her like, the weather.
And I'm like, "It's the weather." He said, "It's nice weather." She's like, "Oh yeah, it is nice weather." But this goes back and forth forever.
Love it.
And
weather.
At one point of the date, he's like, "Hey, Ruthie, I got your card. And she's like, "Oh, Joey." And he hands her this card.
Yeah.
And it's like a normal birthday card. Right? And as she opens it, it's like a cascading waterfall of 20s. He stuffed it with
no, Grandpa.
I know. Grampy stuffed it
with
this talk about like trying to get laid. So it's got to be like easily like between like $300 and $500. I lost count of all the 20s. And she's like, "Joe, you shouldn't do this." And he's so proud of it.
Yeah.
He's just like, I got the money. He's like reassuring her that like he's got the money, like this is okay.
Oh my goodness.
And then because he was so proud of like the thing that he did,
sure,
he's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." So I get out of the thing, and I'm just sitting here with this woman, and she's like counting this money. Now, to her credit, she's like, "I can't keep this money."
Yeah.
But I was like,
because I'm not a whore.
I probably should. I'm never going to see your grandfather again. She's like, "I can't keep this money." So I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to take the cash back for you right now, but here's my mom's address and my aunt's address. Sure. If you want to give it back to them, you can get in touch with them." So now I know I have to tell my mom.
Yeah.
Because they're in charge of these finances.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay," and the date ends. And he's the whole way home. He's talking about how he can't wait to see her again. And he's over the moon. And I'm just like, I need a shower, dude. She did, though, to her credit, she gave the money back.
That's nice. Yeah.
But he did. I think that was like, I don't know what the plan was with her. I don't know how that originally was going to end. But he eventually gets to the point where like he's like, "Oh, this woman in Florida says I can move down there with her." I'm like, "Grandpa, you gotta get the fuck off online dating." Because if I don't know,
She sees my social security number, bank account information. You know?
he was like 1 second away from like being scammed. Like if he wasn't, and that's the other reason I didn't want to tell my mom and my aunts, because I feel like then he would just do it in private and then just become scammed.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to be like, look, he's doing this stuff, but he's going to tell me.
Yeah, you gotta kind
like,
of know.
You got to be quiet about it. You gotta be like, oh, he told me.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do date. The old people do date.
Yeah.
They're looking to get ass.
I think that's great.
And some of them, even they're looking to get ass, dude. They'll just pump money at you. It's like the game hasn't changed.
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody wants to give me money, yeah.
I think
that's
I think it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm still kind of disgusted at the idea that they're having these like orgies and people are getting a bunch of STDs. Luckily, he aged in place.
But you know what? Like 55 now is like not that old.
Dude, that's like 11 years for me.
Well, I have very attractive 55-year-old people, right? On all ends of the spectrum.
I mean, my favorite category on Pornhub is mature.
Well, yeah, but the mature, like the MILF on Pornhub is not like those women are like 30, and they pretend to be somebody's mom or whatever. Yeah.
What are you telling me?
The neighbors.
You see?
I'm just saying.
You're saying the stepmom porn I watch my VR headset is not.
I think some of them might not be the stepmom for the guy in the thing. For the guy who looks like he's 45.
Either way, I feel like that story it does happen.
Yeah.
You just gotta if you have an elderly grandparent, or somebody living in one of those communities, you gotta talk to them about safe sex and let them know that the pull-out method might work to not get her pregnant, but you're probably gonna catch something in the meantime.
You could do that.
That's probably what you should say.
You don't have to do that though. I think you could just let them.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, agree to disagree.
Okay.
All right, so moving on to segment 2. As I mentioned, we are working on a new commercial for Prisco dildos, but we haven't got it yet. Right. So we're going to stick to the old one. Ready?
Okay.
Prisco dildos. Prisco dildos are New England's premier dildos, coming in all shapes and sizes. Get Prisco dildos at your favorite adult novelty stores and check out their home molding kits, which are now back in stock. Ooh. Find them online at PriscoDildosNE.com. If it doesn't say Prisco, you're just fucking yourself. And as a side, each dildo comes with a free download of the Better in Law podcast for your sports betting needs. Do you listen to the Better in Law podcast?
I haven't yet, but I will check it out.
It's a great podcast. Not only are they selling dildos on one side, they're giving you tips and tricks to game the system, make some money.
Yeah, very funny person, Prisco.
He's hilarious.
The sort of namesake of the Prisco Empire is very funny.
Yeah, and I think you can see why with that. I think you can see why he got into the dildo business, because dildos are funny.
That's true. They can be, yeah, for sure.
I think they're very funny. Yeah. Okay, so the next segment, we're going to talk about online dating stories. So the reason this came up was somebody had asked me off air, one of our listeners. We have a lot of listeners, as we mentioned. Yeah. They recently asked me 2 things, and actually oddly related. They didn't know. Okay. But they said, you said you stopped online dating, which is true. I did stop online dating. They said, was there a rock bottom moment of online dating? Yeah. And they said, in episode 1, you mentioned that you did, and it's funny how with the callbacks, I don't even remember. But they were like, you mentioned you tried Ashley Madison.
That's right. Yeah.
Will you ever talk about that? And honestly, they're semi-related.
Okay.
So the thing about, I don't ever like the rock bottom moment per se. It wasn't like this happened, I got to get off online dating. Sure. But the rock bottom moment of Ashley Madison is sort of related. And for those who don't know, there's a great Netflix documentary came out about a year ago about the rise and fall of Ashley Madison. Even though it's still available, I didn't sign up until after I saw this documentary because I was curious. But it's for
research purposes.
Research purposes only for the podcast. I did sign up for a month membership, and the reason I did that was. It seemed like, all right, so you're on Bumble, you're on Tinder, you're on a few different ones, and you see the same women on all of them. Yeah. Right? So, like, depending on what your age is or where your location, typically there's probably like a 30 or 40% overlap of who you see. Sure. So you're not going to, once you've been on there a while, it is kind of what it is. Yeah. So I was like, I am super lonely. Yeah. Super desperate. Yeah. And very curious. Yeah. So I'm going to try Ashley Madison. So that's the site where you sign up to have an affair. Okay. So before everyone's like, Bob Vito, you're a homeworker. Yeah. Well, I'm not married, so it doesn't really count. Okay. But the other part is I remember from my days in radio, the Ashley Madison team came in we sold them airspace, airtime. Sure. And this is probably bullshit, but I'll never forget that the woman doing the presentation about Ashley Madison was like, it's actually only like 50% of the people on Ashley Madison are actually in a relationship, right? It's to a lot of people, it's like role play, or a lot of people, it's like they tried other dating apps, and you can actually say right on the app that I'm not married, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the same principle. Like you put in
Got it.
pictures, you put in your zip code, whatever.
Sure.
So again, lonely, desperate, and curious. It's a perfect storm for me to just be like, I'm going to
Sure.
try Ashley Madison. So one thing I got, I'm sending messages, I'm not getting any responses. And I read this thing online. It was like, when you talk to someone, Ashley Madison, it's not Tinder, it's not Bumble, it's not any of these. You got to kind of be direct, right?
Yeah.
Because in the other ones, even though maybe Tinder started as like just the fuck app,
Yeah.
it became this thing where it's like, no, you still can't just do
Sure.
that anymore. So I started like reading the messages, and women wanted like discreet affairs, and I would chat GPT the fuck out of like some response to make it seem like I was like some like a fair pro,
Okay.
like super discreet and yada 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 and whatever.
So ChatGPT's already into erotica at this point. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where I thought they were going.
I hope you close the deal. Yeah.
I did not close the deal. So the only response I got from that was a woman
Okay.
who button hooked me and was like, "Okay, I liked your message. I'm not actually divorced. I'm sorry. I'm still married."
Okay.
She invited me to a threesome with her and her husband in Chelmsford, Mass.
Ooh.
But she had a lot of rules.
Okay.
She had a lot of rules here.
Okay.
And the rules that I specifically remember were, got to wear a condom. And I was like, no, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Right. And then she was like, you got to be at least 9 inches. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay, lady, that's fucking ridiculous.
How about if I just bring my Prisco dildo mold?
No shit.
And
like,
that's 9 inches.
9 inch. Like,
Yeah.
Is that one of those things where it's like, you tell people you got to be at least this height, and they'll come like an inch or two shorter. And
Ride
you're
the
like,
ride?
Well, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, let me give you a better analogy.
You're going to wear lifts to get on?
Well, it says
Or-
right
yeah.
on the bottle of Advil, don't take more than like 2 in 24 hours.
But everybody takes.
But they know they put it like that because they know if you can really take like 4 or 6.
Yeah.
But if they said
I was
take
thinking-
4 or 6, you'll take like 8 or 12
Actually, Toronto Rob in high school used to always take 3. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you could take 3.
because the bottle,
Yeah.
the bottle,
Because
right?
he was a hockey player. That's
So-
why he's such a douchebag.
I obviously, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I mean, if any of my friends are 9 inches, I love you for it. But I was like, all right, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that obviously fizzled out.
Well, hang on. So
Yeah.
I think there was a, so one, you didn't meet this person
No.
because you just were like,
I didn't respond after
can't ride on the ride. Yeah.
I didn't, because like, how do I come back? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then
You
like,
should have negotiated.
I'll tell you what, condom,
Listen, be like, listen.
solid 5 inches.
I got 5, but like I'm a hustler. Like, listen, am I going to put up 30? No, but I'll rebound and play defense. You know what I
the
mean? Like,
crowd-
I'll do whatever I need to do.
And the crowd will feel it. The crowd's gonna know what's
I
going
mean,
on.
eat some ass, I'll eat some ass. You know what I mean? Like whatever I need to do to get points to help the team win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I will do. So that's one. 2, wasn't there a scandal? I don't know if this is in the documentary. I didn't watch it. But wasn't there a scandal? I think we talked about this last time too, where there were guys on Ashley Madison, the company got in trouble.
Yeah.
Because there were dudes pretending to be women.
Yeah, that's right. There was a lot of it too, and also the fake accounts were the other big thing. And
Yeah.
they had that big data breach. That
Yeah.
was their other
Yeah.
thing. I actually didn't respond.
So you saw that and you were like, let me wait in here.
But then again, I look at it, it's like maybe it's like a challenge. Maybe she was looking for me to be like,
Ooh, yeah.
listen,
She wanted you to talk her out of
tell
it.
you what, I can't show up with 9.
Yeah.
But I can show up with a good 5.
Yeah.
And some really good intentions.
It's a good attitude.
And a good attitude. Right? You and your husband,
Yeah.
who I didn't know existed,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a good story out
Yeah,
of it,
sure.
right? And I'll talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I never responded there, but
Okay.
I did actually correspond with a woman.
So hang on, I have another
yeah.
follow-up question.
Please.
Do you think that the husband was 9 and that he met the requirement? Or do you think that like she needed the 9 because the husband was not a 9?
That's a really good question. I will say this: this woman was nothing special,
Okay.
and outside, like I feel like a 10 right now in my Blockbuster jacket.
Yeah, well you are, yeah.
I would not. It's not like I think of myself like that when I don't.
If you
have
had
a
sent a
jacket.
picture of yourself like in just the Blockbuster jacket,
Yeah.
you would have been like,
She would have been
whatever
like,
whatever you got.
you got
come
3?
over.
Bring
Yeah,
it over.
Let's get over here.
I think now that you bring that up, it's a good point. Like, is she doing this out of some sort of weird fantasy?
Yeah.
But I do think that she was real because she mentioned where in Chelmsford, Mass, that she lived, and where we could meet and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
sure.
And they wanted to meet me first
Yeah.
before anything. But again,
So they could drug you and take all your money probably.
but I obviously wasn't going to be like, all right, so you met the height requirement. You look like your pictures. Let's take a look at that dick.
Let's whip it out. Yeah,
And then
let's
she's
go.
like, and then I'm like, no, it's like I'm a shower, not a grower.
Yeah.
Grower, not, I don't know what I
Yeah,
am,
yeah.
but like I can't risk that embarrassment.
Yeah,
like
no,
I said.
you can't just go into the Bertucci's bathroom and like,
Dude, for like
I don't know
the
anything
last
else
4
to
months of
tell.
my marriage, I'm living in a basement. Like I've hit rock bottom in my mental capacity. I
Okay.
can't take more rejection from a 5.
That would suck if you were like, if you pulled it out and they were just like, no, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. And also too, like who knows like what else they're going to throw at me? Like, hey, you got to eat that guy's ass. I'd be like, whoa. Samantha, or whatever your name is, like that was not part of the arrangement. But so far, nothing that she said was part of the arrangement. So I'm basically where I am.
You're better off just like talking to ChatGPT.
I should have.
That's where we.
Well, Sam Altman hadn't fucking come up with it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So the other experience I had with Ashley Madison was probably about a week later, where a woman who looked like Sarah Planentall, I can't really describe her any other way. She looked very nondescript.
Sure.
Lived in Nashua.
Okay.
And she reaches out and says, "Hey, I liked your profile.
Okay.
I'm into some things. My husband isn't. I would be curious to know if you are." So I'm like, what is it? So the next thing we do, we talk about the fact that she's into bondage. She's into sadomasochism.
Sure.
And she called it the term femdom. Do you know what femdom is?
Well, that's when she takes charge. Yeah.
That's when she basically. So I had to ask her what is that? She didn't tell me what it was. Her response was Google it, which I knew I was in for some shit.
Did you watch Billions?
No.
So
I know the show,
Billions. Paul Giamatti is on the receiving end of some femdom.
So femdom is basically she beats the shit out of you for a couple hours, tells you how fucking pathetic you are.
Yep.
And I'm like, I've been doing that for months. Like, why couldn't I? That's no big deal. So she invites me to her dungeon in Manchester, New Hampshire. And before I commit to this, I want to know more about what it is, right?
Seems reasonable.
Because I'm like,
I'm glad that
do
you
I have
had that
sex with
instinct.
you, or what? You step on my balls for now? Like I'm not really into that.
Yeah.
And she's
Safe word.
like, don't worry, there'll be gratification for both of us. I'm like, well, that sounds very ominous.
all right.
But she comes at me with, she fucking hits me with the stick up.
Yeah.
So again, I haven't committed to this.
Okay.
I'm a little intrigued.
Yeah, you're
but
like,
where am I going to go?
Yeah, sure.
She goes, are you man? Actually, her quote was, "Are you man enough to try pegging?"
Man enough.
So for those who don't know, probably my mother, who may know, pegging is when a woman puts on a strap-on, probably from Frisco dildo.
Yeah.
And
hopefully, if
they,
smart.
after insulting me for quite a while, they put it in your butt. And I am not into that.
Okay.
But I said, hey, that's probably not my thing.
How do you know?
Did
you do the pegging?
I'm pretty sure. It's pretty sure it's not my thing.
All right.
So I have to be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But not to be outdone.
Yeah.
And I think this is where like a test came in.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, so you're a pussy. And I was like, oh. But that's like
what she's into.
That's what she's into.
She wants you to be like.
So I remember going to bed that night and really torn to be like, I'm so not a pussy. I will show her.
I'm gonna jerk off thinking about getting pegged right now.
I will fucking let this chick peg me just to show her how fucking tough I am. And when I woke up in the morning, I had this clear head, thank God. Probably because I jerked off thinking about it.
Frisco dildo's finest in my ass. Yeah.
But I had this thought in my mind of like, that is your rock bottom, because you went to bed considering this offer that you were not into,
right?
Just to show this person how much of a bitch pussy you're not.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
And it was like her kind of turn on was like her calling me names and me like worshiping her.
Sure.
So I deleted the app that day.
Good for you.
And I never went back. So those are my two Ashley Madison stories.
Okay.
My email is probably I used a alternate email.
Yeah.
But that probably will be leaked someday.
We're gonna get some emails about that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So I was not into that. But those were my experiences with Ashley Madison as well.
Well, if you do get pegged, use a Prisco dildo.
Yeah. So that's
product.
So again, Prisco dildo is the #1 dildo in New England. If you're not using a Prisco,
not Florida though.
You're just fucking yourself. Not Florida. Yeah. So those are my stories. So those are my rock bottom on that app.
Those are good.
I didn't have any outside of like, the Your Special Girl from episode 3 with the Shawn Michaels jacket.
Yeah.
Those were not rock bottom moments. Those were like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But that was enough for me to be like,
problem.
Like when you're involved with something that it's way over your head.
Yeah.
I at least had, like, I do feel proud of myself though, in some weird way, because I didn't get pegged. No, I'm proud of myself in the sense that like I knew what my limit was.
Sure.
And I was like, this is not for me.
Right.
Not for me.
Good.
So I got off Ashley Madison, and those are my Ashley Madison stories.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
I think.
So now we know.
Well done.
So Tom, we haven't done it in quite some time, but we're at the 1 hour mark. So I'm so proud of us.
Yeah.
We haven't done this in quite some time, but we have a No Dick Bozo.
Oh, okay.
And this one is specifically for you.
Ooh.
So I'm going to let it play all the way through. It's about a minute. You can make fun of it.
Love it.
And should I tell you who the No Dick Bozo is?
Well, I don't. Yeah, sure.
So the No Dick Bozo is Toronto Rob.
Oh, he should be the honorary No Dick Bozo every week.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think the reason that I wanted to do this No Dick Bozo was I want to branch out of the idea that the No Dick Bozo has to be a dating app person.
Sure.
It could just be the best, worst email, voicemail that we
Yeah,
get for the week.
Something that's going on.
Something's
you could
going on.
nominate Sam Altman.
Sam Altman could be the
Yeah,
No Dick Bozo.
sure.
So anybody else too. I don't want to discriminate if you're not on the
Send in
dating
your
apps.
email nominations.
So,
Yeah, people
so
keep emailing.
if you want to do what Toronto Rob did, send in voicemail. Tom and I can decide the
Yeah.
No Dick Bozo. If you want to actually say, hey, my ex-brother-in-law, sent me this video that was really stupid. He's the No Dick Bozo. You could
Yeah,
do that.
you could say that.
We're
Yeah.
open to a lot of different things.
Yeah. If you want to send in just a voicemail talking about how much you hate Toronto Rob,
Yeah.
that would be great. And just make him the No Dick Bozo next week too. That would be great.
You could definitely do that. So here, without further ado, is this week's No Dick Bozo.
Okay.
Oh, look at these two. This guy, Tom, but someone's mom took a double dose of Tylenol, eh?
Topical.
Oh, boy,
Yeah, very
Sender. You look like you got dressed in the dark at Canadian Tire, eh? Ooh. Hey, Tommy boy, good for you for finally getting off to Chesterfield to play some pickleball. What the fook is pickleball? You gonna follow it up with some lawn bowling and an early bird special at the Swiss Chalet? How about yoga in the Timmy's parking lot? Hey. Play some hockey like a real Canuck, you beauty, eh? And who the hell is this Greek you keep going on about? You keep saying I'm married to her. Buddy, you been hitting the Mickeys too hard? Can't be taking no Ma LeBlanc to the blast rail, eh? Single life for Toronto Rob for life. Like Chris Leroy after spring training cuts, eh? Anyway, I'm off for a dart in a 26er. Go Jays!
So Toronto Rob, he
Okay. First,
Yeah.
how long was that?
that was a minute, 59 seconds.
So Toronto Rob, at 20 seconds, the accent kind of goes. So you might want to get like a more TikTokified like there. Just one piece of advice.
I thought this was the funniest one.
I thought that was pretty funny.
thought it was
I think ChatGPT wrote it because
Okay.
Toronto Rob doesn't know any Canadian references on his own.
Wow.
He knows maybe Timmy Hortons. He definitely knows a brass rail, but yeah.
He does. So do you feel
That's a place.
confident that he can be this week's No Dick Bozo?
Yeah, absolutely. He's the No Dick Bozo. Thanks.
Congratulations to Toronto Rob. This week's No Dick Bozo of the week. And again, Tom and I are at the point now where we're going to take all submissions for the No Dick Bozo. You don't have to necessarily just be on the dating apps. We don't want to.
Open it
We want to include everybody.
Yeah, a lot of No Dick
So if you
Bozos
got a
out there.
guy or a girl in your life who
Yep.
wants to peg you, wants to do whatever,
Yep.
send us audio. Send us.
Or if you just want it to be Toronto Rob every week, again.
That's totally
Let it
fine.
fly.
That's totally fine
Yeah.
as well. So that's our show for tonight. Tom, we're going to get into our favorite part,
'Kay.
close and the plugs.
Love it.
So as always, I want to have you go first.
So thank you to our buddy,
Yep, our buddy, our pal,
Bernthal.
Bernthal.
I don't know if I saw anything from Bernthal. Did you see anything from Bernthal this week?
No, but because we talk about him so much, I get
I get clips all the time
clips
too.
and
Yeah.
reels, like that
Yeah.
story about how he went to college and he was a baseball player.
Yes.
And the way he got into acting was he stood up to do a monologue.
Yeah.
And it was about his baseball club.
Yeah.
And he basically had the whole audience in tears. So his mom gave him the glove.
Yeah.
when she died.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh shit, you guys! Like that was just a story." And
Made
people
it
were
all
pissed
up.
at him.
Because he's a great actor.
'Cause he's a
That's
great
why.
fucking
Yeah, they're
actor.
pissed at him because they suck at acting.
Yeah.
A bunch of failures. So we'd like to thank Bernthal. You're welcome on the podcast anytime. He went on fellow podcaster Joe Rogan's podcast. We have slightly fewer listeners, but he's welcome here.
We're catching up. We're catching
Yeah,
up.
that's true. And no thank you to Toronto Rob and your terrible voicemail.
Yeah, I agree with all that. As always, we'd like to thank Dean Corsi for this fire theme song. You can find Dean Corsi at Dean Corsi Music on Instagram. You can email Tom and I at divorcewithfriends@gmail.com, Twitter at DivorceWFPod, Instagram at DivorceWithFriends. And remember, Podbean will distribute this wonderful podcast, episode 12, to all of your favorite streaming apps. That's Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, iHeart, and more. Smash, like, review. See you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, everybody.
Don't get pegged.
Bye-bye.
Bye.